La, la, la. Hey, you guys, as promised, man, I'm a little bit behind. That's why I told you guys I need a team. Because, man, I was waiting around for people to say yay or nay. Did they want to go live? Did they want to see me tonight? Did they want to chat? And you know what? I missed my little deadline because you know what? I was too busy working on other stuff and did not focus on what time it was. But I wanted to jump on real quick just to give everybody a chance to maybe come, say hello, drop by, see how you guys are doing. While I have a moment here, I am trying to work this stuff. Because you know what? I'm not that good with all this stuff. So we're going to figure out what's going on, see if we can go live. I've never done a live version. And you may hear my son in here because he can't let mommy get online without being nearby with his sweet swell, my little Sour Patch Kid. But I hope everybody had a good day. Oh, it is definitely a Wednesday to feel like a Monday. Maybe it's just me. But I am telling you, I am feeling like a Monday on a Wednesday. Mm-mm-mm. Let me see. I was trying to figure out how to work my Instagram. Interestingly enough, this wouldn't let me go live on Instagram through StreamYard. I don't know if a lot of you know that most of the time when I'm recording, I use StreamYard. And it's an awesome program where I can do all my videos. I don't have to do too much editing, and that keeps my time down too, so I can come to you guys more often. I guess this week, the last couple weeks, I've been really focused on like trying to fill my own cup and trying to stay focused and on the things of that God has for me and that I feel like I'm being called to. So it's been a very interesting time trying to keep up with all of it and stay focused on being a mom, being a wife, and doing all the things because it can get a little complicated. And I always have an announcement for you guys. I actually ended up writing again. So I am setting a goal for myself to hopefully have this new book possibly, now don't hold me to it, but possibly completed by the end of the year. I was thinking about it in my head. If I keep up the same speed that I'm doing now, maybe a chapter a week, I could probably get it done by the end of the year. And if I write more than that, then there we go. So I will keep you posted. I think it may be a good thing to get this done by the time we do the conference. Did y'all listen to the last couple episodes? If you have not listened to the last Fill Your Cup, oh, Fill Your Cup. See, that's what I get for talking about the book and the podcast at the same time. If you haven't heard the last couple episodes, you are missing out on some jewels, you guys. These people are coming by to fill our cups and tell us a little bit about themselves. But also, I've been dropping little sneak peeks and hints about what's to come for 2024. It is in full swing. We are going to have a B Field Live kind of event. I won't display the name just yet. And I want to make sure that you guys can participate in that. I'll have the event bright up. I'm going to have speakers coming in. It is just going to be a fun time, you guys. I cannot wait for it to happen. Hopefully, you can come down and visit me live. I would love to give you guys the opportunity to be right in front of us, speaking with you, firsthand. I know we do this weekly, but it would be lovely to meet some of you that I haven't met before, or if you're family and friends that I haven't seen in a while, definitely would love for you to come down and be poured into by everybody that's coming. I have a couple speakers that's already like, oh yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna come and pour into these guys, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Some of them, most of them, you've seen on the podcast previously. So we got authors, and then of course myself. I'll be there to speak to you guys because God's been laying a word on my heart as the next step to filling your cup. And that's kind of the journey I've been on over the last year is, I don't know if I want to spill it yet. Let me think about it. I always hold on to stuff for you guys. I just told you that I'm writing again, and it's going to be a second book. And the second book and the conference have the same title. So if I give it away, it might be too soon. It might be too soon. You got to hang in there with me. Maybe you're probably going to start figuring out by next month when I start making an announcement about who's coming to the conference. Maybe doing some surprises about the name of the conference. But yeah, I think they go hand in hand, and I feel like God's telling me to get it done. So I think I'm going to go ahead and jump on that obedience train and try to get it done and finished in time for you guys to have it in hand at the conference, ready to take home with you. Or, you can always, order a copy if you would like to have it shipped to wherever you are. But I think it would be awesome to have them there on display. So you can take a peek and ask questions or get them signed. I know a lot of people like to get things signed. I like to write in each one of my books, if I get a chance, as a prayer or something I feel that comes to my heart when I meet you in person. So it's fun. It's fun. I did see a couple of viewers come in. Like I said, this is just an open forum. If you have any questions, just want to say hello. Hi. You can jump on in, but I thought instead of skipping this week, maybe just jump on and say, this is probably going to be like more of a review week. Go back if you haven't heard all of the episodes. I am trying to pin down kind of what I want to talk about to you guys with this next following episode. Oh, hey, my mom's on here. Hey, girl. So because things have been in my heart. Like I was talking to my sis. We always have the deep conversations about God, and I got an inner circle that I talk to a lot. And man, we've been throwing about this topic of but God. Don't get me started. I feel like I keep going on talking about it right now. Like the things that we go through in life, we face them, but God, right? Like we could throw but God behind everything and say, Amen, I made it, but God, right? This happened to me, but God, He showed up because He's magnificent. Or, we just could talk for hours about all the things and places we wouldn't be. But God stepped in. So I feel like that's the episode, but I really wanted her to jump in on the episode. So I'm trying to hold out for her to have availability before I spill the beans on that one. And then I've been also feeling the word temporary. I know I got more seasons coming, you guys, but man, to really sit down here, temporary, I've been feeling that word temporary a lot. And you can give me your opinion in the comments what topic you'd like me to speak on next. I would love to hear that as well. But yeah, oh man, temporary. But God, temporary. And then, man, I had one last night that was kind of a pickup from last week's episode on favor, which I hope you went and watched, because it's not that I'm saying that we all can't have favor. What I'm saying is we have access to favor, but kind of here's the thing, God is also looking at us as to, are we walking under His favor umbrella, if I could put it in that perspective? Are we doing the things that keep us within His glory, within His presence, within right there in close proximity to Him is where the favor is. So there's things I kind of feel like that we do to get, the favor. That everybody's like, I kind of see it from that perspective, not just the favor because I got the house, or the favor because of this or that. I think there's a deep dive. There's way more that I can talk to you about. That's not just in this short episode, but yeah, view it. I did find another guy. I was telling my sister again about that day, a couple days after I had just questioned myself whether I had said the right thing. And then I found this guy, this preacher that I had no clue about, never seen on my timeline before on YouTube pop up. And the title of his message was The Favor of God. And it was crazy. I always get blown away by certain topics that God gives me, because I feel like they're right in line with what preachers are preaching about. And that's beautiful, right? Because that means we're all on the same wavelength. We're hearing from God. God wants this message out, and we want to be obedient and put it out. For me, I don't, see myself as a pastor or anything like that, but it's just cool to get that confirmation. When I did that video and then saw that message, it made me feel like, okay, God's like, yes, you heard that correctly. So it was nice to hear. Let me see. We got a comment. Oh goodness. My mom wants me to do an episode on getting through grief. Woo! Do we got time for that? What a journey. It is a roller coaster trying to make it through grief. I have been hit, as you guys know, with a couple big things in my life that have almost taken me out. But God, there it is. But God, just this morning, talking about grief, I saw a post from a friend. Hey, Sarah, about how our people that are no longer here, we have those moments where we want to call them and we want to know if they're looking down from heaven to say whether they are proud of us or if they are, seeing everything we're doing. Do they hear us when we say, hey, I hope you see this today? And man, woo, that thing took me out. I mean, I think I was in the blues for a bit there, because I had to realize that um, wow, she really isn't here, And then I had to think that, yeah, a lot of times I do. I stand in front of her picture and I think, man, I remember calling her and how excited my grandmother would get when I do things. Like, I think she probably is tickled pink that I'm doing this, speaking to you guys live, writing books. I mean, that was not the trajectory of my life. And then my friend, thank you, Christina, came and tried to snatch me back. And she was like, girl, I know you are not over there crying about that. And I was like, yes, I am. Yes, I do. And then she almost took me out. And she says, she said that, you get to the point where I have to realize that she may not be here now, but she will be, we will be together, in a grand scheme of things, eventually again for eternity. And that's definitely how we should keep it. And that's a great perspective. And then she was so sweet to tell me that, the thing about what's going on now is that she believes that I'm walking in her legacy and I was dead. And just go ahead and throw me right on out. I was like, let me get myself together or I'm not gonna be able to work today. But I don't take comments like that lightly. And when it comes to her, I don't think either of us do. When it comes to anybody talking about her mom, my mom's on here, my grandmother, walking in her shoes, there's a big, to us, those are big shoes to fill. We hold her at a high regard and high standard, and most people that have met her do the same. She was such a I don't ever talk about her like that. She's wonderful. I don't want to say she was. She is. Still probably doing such wonderful things too, wherever God has her. So yes, I wish I could call her. I think I saw another thing online that said if I had one phone call to heaven, would I use it, or could I visit heaven for an hour every day? I'm like, yeah, sign me up. What's my hour? Pinpoint my schedule. Beam me up, Scotty. I want to be there and I want to do that. So yeah, I think I may have to do an episode on grief. Um, because I think that a lot of people are trying to figure out how to navigate grief. Why does it feel? One day you're happy, then the next minute you're crying. One minute you're like celebrating, but then you're like, should I be celebrating? Shouldn't I be still sad? Is it too soon? Will people judge me? Um, I feel convicted because I'm doing something fun, but this person's not here. It was such a hard tension to walk in, because everybody's different, right? Everybody's going to grieve different. Everybody goes down the grief process so different. So it's hard to pinpoint and say this is how you should handle it. Um, but all I can do is share kind of how I've been walking it, from losing a child and losing a grandmother, um, how I felt and how I have bounced back. But still, I'll cry in the spot if I think about it, too much, or think about my son when his birthday comes, all the things that he didn't get to do, that my other sons are doing, like going to school and homecomings, proms, and college possibly. My 10-year-old wants to drive. I'm like, why are we even talking about driving right now? And then the other day we ride in the car and it's nice because me and him can talk about my son that's not here now. He'll ask me questions about how old is he? Is he with Nanny? He'll ask me things like, oh, you know, how would have been if we would have been here? Oh, we would have needed this many beds in the house. So he notices too, because I've always made my kids aware that they do have a brother, but the brother is not here. He's with Jesus. So in our household, and when people meet me, it is 3 kids. One's just not here physically. We always make people aware that we celebrate him at all times. Um, and I wouldn't do it any other way. I wouldn't have it any other way. He was here, he lived, and he was a person. And that's such a hard topic for people too. But yeah, no, I'm just excited to be here with you guys. Thanks, Mom, for hanging out. Gotta have somebody to jump on and hang out with me. I know my mom's been dealing with grief too. We all been trying to figure out how to handle it. So, but we keep eyes on each other. I know we try to work and keep busy to get through it, but um, and probably keep. But our lives changed. My mom was taking care of my grandmother in her home full time, so I guess it was a big shift for her once she was gone. So that's something too. Maybe we can get her on here. You told me to talk about the topic grief. Maybe you could talk about it from your perspective of, one day having your whole life shift. Um, when she's not there full time. Now you're in your home by yourself. You're living a whole different life. So that's probably a perspective that people want to hear. Yeah. But let me get back to the third topic, you guys. So we were talking about, but God is one of the topics that I'm messing around with for the next episode. Temporary, talking about when things feel temporary, or how God expects things to sometimes be temporary, because he does have us in such a go on mission sometimes that we need to be okay with things being temporary. And then the third topic that I was kind of talking to my sister about was, do we have a choice? Just talking about the difference in obedience and availability, like being available to say, I want to go, choose me, but also saying, do we really have a choice to say no? Because isn't that disobedience if we do? Or is it can we talk about this some more? I feel like he gives us grace and he gives us a bit of time to think about it and get it together and work through things. And then also in my D group, they made a good point that sometimes I feel like God gets to the point where he starts moving you, or things in your life starts happening because you're not listening or you're not moving fast enough. And I don't think he'll ever let us miss a divine moment that he has already put before us without something happening. I think I won't say who. I don't know if he'll be okay if I say his name, but one of the guys in the group was saying that he is now in the position of being put off from his job. And he was saying that at the same time of him being let go from his job that he's been in love with for years, and it's been the source of income for his family, God's also giving him something to work on for his mission. So now he's in the tension between, should I celebrate this? Should I stay focused? Like, what am I doing? Like, so now he has to choose, right? How to feel in this situation. So I'm trying to figure out, do we have a choice? And if we don't, how long does God give before he starts moving things around to say, hey, I still need you. I still choose you. You still need to come this way. And I think that's when some of the hurtful things start happening in our lives, and we're like, oh, why is this happening? I feel like that's when God gives us those growing pains and those birthing pains, because He's like, come on, come on. I need you to come on. And that's because we're giving Him resistance, right? And I think when we give Him that type of resistance, He kind of gives us a little bit of that tough love. And I don't know if people like to see God in that light, but He does. He loves us, but sometimes He does need to give us tough love. I mean, we're humans, we're stubborn. Have you seen us? Hello? We can be stubborn, and hard headed, and we talk back. Very sassy. So I think sometimes He's like, okay, okay, I love you, but this may hurt, but it's only, maybe I should wrap them all together. It may hurt, but it's only temporary. So I think that's fun, um, to talk about as a group, as a B field. What should we call ourselves? I don't even know. I feel like we need some kind of name. I can't call you B fillers, but I feel like we should be something. I always say let's be filled together, but I feel like what should we call ourselves? The people who join the podcast and all of us that hang out together. I feel like we need a name. If you come up with a name, maybe I'll do a giveaway. Um, that would be fun. I would love to hear what you guys come up with. But yes, so next topics are brewing. Things are brewing behind the scenes for the conference next year, which I hope you guys can join. New book is in the works. I don't even think I've told. I do have a meeting coming up with my publisher, but I haven't even told them that I started writing again. If they look at this, I guess they'll find out. I did pause for a bit. It was a little busy for a while. Plus, I think I told everybody that when I write and I come up with content or a podcast guest, I really do wait on the prompting of God, to come up with that kind of stuff. So it is a little different than most. I do wait to hear from Him, before jumping out there. So I'm trying to figure out which way we're trying to go now, especially with season 3 coming in with the podcast. I want to make sure the next, as I wrap up season 2, I want to see where season 3 is going to go. Should be interesting. And a lot of the stuff that I write in my books, from my perspective, are normally stuff that I've lived, right? So it's my testimony. I heard the other day from Sarah Jakes Roberts, she was talking about owning your lessons, and I was like, oh my goodness, poof. I was like, that's exactly how I live this thing out, right? I own my lessons, and then I present them to you on the podcast or in my book, and I'm like, look, this is what I walked through, and I want you to see it. And I just think that's how I should live, and it's helpful, right? Because you think that most Christians have this life that's not like your life, and it is. And we all live the same. Here I am. Things are happening all around. And I just want you to see that even though that is happening, I do there is a choice that we make every day to turn ourselves towards God, to not turn back the other way, to keep looking up and looking forward. And I want to show you how I've done it, just in case you're like, I can't see past this wall. I don't know how I'm going to do it. And I would love to be, a help to those that need it. So I think that's where I am with that. Living openly, answering questions, sharing faith, sharing the good news, out here hanging with you guys, just figuring it all out. Because it's daily figuring this thing out. I don't have all the answers, but I do show up in places where I feel like I can get the answers. And sometimes that's working it out with you guys, that's working it out with my inner circle, being at church. Because man, I don't know if you saw my post the other day too. There was a great sermon on last Sunday, and he was talking about how he feels like the revival is in God has chose this generation as the place where the revival will happen. And he was just talking about how special that is, that God would want to breathe on us. And that there is always a point of preparation that's needed, and that He's calling out people and churches to be a part of this, raising up new leaders, raising up this generation, um, to help him. And I think it's such a blessing to even be a part, even to think that something like this could reach how many people if we share it and touch somebody's heart or plant the seed or whatever is needed to change their lives, or a book or a word, maybe just what that person needs to say, I'm curious. Let me see what it's all about, or let me see what Jesus is all about, or can I ask you a question about God? Like sometimes people just need a door. They just need that door to step through. Sometimes they can't figure out where it is. It's not highlighted in their eyes. They can't see. They have the scales over their eyes. They can't see where to move forward. But I think the more that we show up, and we share our light and we say who we are and we walk in it, with that internal transformation on the outside, hopefully they'll feel comfortable enough to ask us questions. And the more I share my wounds on the outside, and more people say, hey, how did that happen? I see that healed wound because God stepped in, right? Yeah. So lots going on, you guys. I just wanted to say hello, wish you a wonderful, wonderful week. I also just wanted to say that this week, I don't, this will be my episode for this week, unless, like I said, I can pin down how I'm feeling about those 3 topics. Again, let me know what you're thinking, how you're feeling. If you need prayer, you need something, don't hesitate to reach out. I don't have to be online and live for you to say, Sheena, I need something. I need a prayer. I need help. Always here for you guys. Just message me. Let me know what you need. And if you want to jump on here and talk to me, ask me any questions, think it may be helpful, you got a story that you want to tell to somebody else, let's jump on here and do it. Again, this is not non-judgment zone. We're just in here having fun and being filled together. Well, I am going to wrap this thing up, you guys. I love you. I hope you have a fabulous week. Hopefully some of this has been a little helpful for you. Again, not so too deep, but just enough to say I didn't want to miss my time with you. Ready to jump out here anytime you guys need me. You know what? Maybe we'll do a couple more of these lives sometimes. Right on the spot, communicating with you guys. Anything we can do to reach out there and have our cups filled together, right? All right. But my mom said, "Hey, mom." Awesome. Oh, you're so sweet. All right. So I love you guys. Y'all have a fabulous week. I'm gonna go get these kids ready for bed because you know what? It doesn't stop here, you guys. Podcaster, author, mom, wife, servant, you name it. Gotta get it done. So I'll chat with you guys later. All right. Make sure you remember to be filled. See you next time. Talk to you guys later. Bye.